So you got some people commenting online here. Party pants.
Party pants gnome. So that, oh wow, so that is the
No,
actual
mostly
hashtag.
for harassing old women. What's this about you harassing party pants? I'd love to hear this one.
Oh, okay, so this is a hashtag. So I got a nationwide hashtag. This is people all over the country looking for me, trying to report me to the FBI.
Okay.
That hashtag is hashtag party pants gnome, like the little things that dance in the yard or whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Right. Right. It's getting great. You know, this same person, your big fan, is asking you about breaking some kind of piece of. Let's see, Nick. He broke a piece of the police barricade and used it against the cops. Which, I mean, you're a cop beater now. Is that what they're saying?
I guess. I mean, if that was the case, look, the FBI's already came by my apartment. We've already chatted. You know, they came by my job too. If that was the case and if that was true, I believe the FBI would have me in cuffs. Don't you think?
I would think so. I would definitely
I
think so.
support.
Corn Pop, talking to you, you brought up the George Floyd. We talked about it a couple times, skimmed it. I want to ask you, when you saw that incident taking place, and I'm a former retired corrections guy, I'm a part of the law enforcement team. I'm a family member of law enforcement across the country. I back the blue. But when you saw that incident taking place and the things that ensued afterwards, what were you feeling about just about America at that time?
It was tough. I'm 100% behind this. I 100% support the police, but I also don't support bad police. At the end of the day, you know, do I think George Floyd deserved a knee on his neck for 8 minutes? No. But at the end of the day, if George Floyd would have, you know, just listened, got in the car, saved the fight for another day, I get it. These cops right now are getting a little out of hand, especially these mask police now. But at the end of the day, you know, I feel like it divided us a lot more than it really needed to. And I really think that if the media actually reported how it happened and what happened and actually reported the actual facts on the case, it wouldn't have divided this country the way they did.
Okay, well, I think that's a fair statement, and some have said that it's been politicized. Obviously,
I mean, the only cop that talked about is Derek Chauvin, right? Well, what are the races of all the other cops that were standing right there? They weren't white. Right. Why was that not talked about? Because it was a narrative trying to be pushed.
And I think there's a lot of good credibility to that. I do think police reform's been something that's been teased to candidates as they run for election. They go into these mostly Democratic cities, and they actually use that as a platform to build their voting population. Unfortunately, it happened at a perfect storm, and I don't mean a good thing by that. During COVID lockdown, it happened in the country, and it brought us to where we are. Now, let me ask you in regards, you're getting a lot of love today, man. I'm getting a lot of comments about you. You didn't support the police on January 6th. What's that mean? I don't understand, but this is your same fan. You have big fans out here. So,
January 6th. I mean, I guess because I was part of the January 6th, you know, I was there. I didn't support the cops. I mean, I have been caught saying that, you know, I didn't support the Capitol Police that day because I watched the Capitol Police throw tear gas and shoot rubber bullets at innocent families. I mean, there was kids there. There was older people there. You know, what was reported about that day was not true. You know, that was one of the best / worst days of my life because I watched our entire movement go like this.
Explain why best / worst. What's that mean?
The best because it was amazing energy until we got to where the Capitol building was at. I mean, right when Trump was speaking over there, and dude, I mean, there was millions of people there, and not one fight broke out. People helping people in wheelchairs. You know, people were just there loving each other, loving this country, and that was what made that the great day. What made it the worst day was watching what happened and realizing that our entire movement was crushed in one day. You know,
and
like,
so you were there.
I already knew what was going to be said about us on the way. Like after that, we were going to be domestic terrorists and all that. Like I already seen all that happen. And that's what. And that's why.
Did you get? You said you had the FBI. Did the FBI come and speak to you about your presence on that day on January 6th? Is that why you've talked to them?
Oh yeah, they said I was top 5 reported in the state of Maine.
They were there at the event.
No, well, yeah, that about me being there at the event, yes.
Okay, so in efforts of full clarity, so the same fan of yours is mentioning you were running with the Proud Boys. Clearly, I've actually had the founder of Oath Keepers, Stuart Rhodes, on. I don't know if you know who Stuart Rhodes is, and he's been a contributor here on this show a couple times. They were there for security for Roger Stone, Alex Jones, and some of the other folks. And it's funny when you talk about these people that are out there, the patriots of this country, they get labeled as domestic terrorists. That day, did you feel like that there was an effort to be terrorist or be patriots, in your opinion?
Patriots.
Fighting for their country.
Fighting for their country.
So, it's interesting. The same fan of yours now. So wasn't it Antifa who started the riots on January 6th? That's the question out there. Have you been noted for commenting on that? Have you said you believe there was people there that were dressed like Trump fans or Trump supporters or national, American patriot supporters, but they were actually there to do evil? Is that what your opinion is?
Exactly. That's exactly what I told the FBI too.
Mm-hmm.
There was a small group of like 40 people that because once everybody was standing right there on the Capitol steps, it was peaceful. People were singing Amazing Grace, just then there was this group of like 30 people that were running, getting in everybody's face. This is your chance. Fight for your freedom. Get inside the Capitol. Those weren't patriots.
Mm.
I can tell you right now, those weren't patriots.
Well, and who those are the voices you think that led the insurgent into the Capitol that day? Those voices that you could hear near the Capitol steps. Is that what you said?
Oh yeah, I was right. So I was part of the first wave that was there because when we got there so late on the 6th, there was so many people there that we couldn't even hear him speak over the speakers because we were all the way back by the Washington Monument. Mm-hmm. So we were like, all right, the next protest is at the Capitol, so we're going to start heading there. Right. So when I say I was right there on the front line, I was right there on the front line. And then I was back in my hotel room by 3:00.
Did you make a conscious, clearly, I want to put it out there. I'm sure you shared this publicly before. Did you make a conscious decision not to go into the Capitol that day?
They weren't even inside the Capitol when I left.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew that that's what was happening. And I told everybody, I said, that's the biggest mistake. What are you guys going to accomplish getting inside? Mm-hmm. They're going to lock the doors. That's a felony.
Right. Love to see it. So, I want to say this, and I'd love to hear your opinion, Corn Pop. I'm a patriot and I love our country, but I also know there's certain things that we need to do it the right way. And I do think entering that building, as you've indicated, there was other people you believe that day that were there to be troublemakers, and it inspired that energy. Did you hear Donald Trump say, go storm the Capitol at the end of his speech? Did you hear that?
No, not at all.
How did he end his speech that day, if you recall?
To be honest with you, I didn't hear it. Like I said, I didn't hear it live because we couldn't even pull it up on YouTube on the phone because of all the internet service and everything was down and stuff like that. So I can't recall exactly hearing it live, but when I heard it afterwards, he did not say go inside the Capitol. He even said, I'm going to go down there with you. We're going to go on the steps. We're going to peacefully march. I'm pretty sure those are his exact words. I might have, said a few words wrong, but that's what he said. Mm-hmm. I also agree that if you're going to start arresting us, you need to go arrest BLM and Antifa for the past year and a half of them burning down buildings and all this other shit that they've been doing. If you're going to come after people that literally walked in single file line, granted, they were wrong for going in there, but that was one of the most peaceful insurrections I've ever seen in my entire life.
Well, obviously,
I do believe these people that are asleep are going to start to wake up and realize what is really going on. Some of them you're not going to be able to wake up. Some of them are not going to be able to handle the truth that's about to come out. Fuck, my fucking tablet just died. Fuck.
It's all good. You're good. I still hear you, Corn Pop. So I hear you right here. So don't stressing. While you're getting that pulled back up, don't worry.